for humanity. So if you thought that AI taking your job is just a theory for the distant future, look at the January job reports. So in January, about 108,000 US jobs were gone. Okay. And what they're saying is that it was cited about 7,624 directly related to AI. However, it is about 205% higher than in December and 118% increase from the same month as last year. This is primarily because the automation capabilities of AI kind of gotten to a point where it is visible and companies are seeing the benefit of it, where you're maximizing profit while reducing the amount of headache and you're reducing the amount of risk. Okay, so you don't have to deal with workers' comp, you don't have to deal with HR issues, you don't have to deal with everything that comes with hiring a human, because you don't have to deal with the problems that come with dealing with a human. It comes to a point where the cost and the output from a business perspective, it is inevitable that we are going to go into the realm of AI because it's just mathematically inevitable. Now, I was listening to, or have been paying attention to some of the stuff that have been released recently, and 108,000 job reports slashed, 35,000 to 35,500 layoffs marked the lowest since around 5,000 jobs that were created. That has never happened before. It is concerning for quite a few industries, and what analysts are predicting, it's a fast pace into a great recession. However, it is going to be interesting to see how we move. Okay. And here's an example of the potential of what AI can actually result in. So they gave Claude 4.6 Opus a task called the vending bench test. Anthropic's latest model, Claude 4.6, just crushed the vending bench simulation run by Vendon Labs. So the agent earned record profits by haggling, colluding, even lying, showing that advanced AI can already outmaneuver rivals in a full 1 year ahead business scenario. It's sudden situational awareness that is an inside game, raises both excitement about productivity and fresh worries about safety. So the agent actually used aggressive tactics, skipped promised customer refunds, arguing internally about every dollar and what actually mattered, because the prompt that it was given was in regards to maximizing the amount of profits at the end of the year. Releasing Claude 4.6 Opus and also Moltbot, OpenClaw, whatever you want to call it, is a massive step in human productivity. And it's an interesting thing because it creates a paradox where, yes, we need people to work, because otherwise, how do economies sustain themselves if people don't have the money to spend within the economy? However, what actually happens when the labor market is no longer necessary? So other than jobs that will require hands-on skill. So we're talking about people who are plumbers, HVAC installers, air conditioning installers, electricians, those kinds of jobs, because they require human skills, right? They require physical labor, right? Whereas if you're looking at things like in the white collar realm, it changes significantly more, because ideally any job that requires someone to be just clicking buttons on a computer, more than likely by the end of 2027 is going to be able to be replaced by AI. Because with Claude 4.6 and Moltbot, OpenClaw, where it can take initiative and it can perform tasks without making mistakes, yes, it's going to hallucinate. However, if your prompting is great and you give it certain guardrails, you reduce the chance of that happening significantly. And if we look at Moore's laws more of computing power, is that computing power doubles every 2 years and half the costs every 2 years. And this is driving like the better, faster, cheaper, safer principle, because once an AI agent becomes cheaper and faster than a human employee, labor substitution becomes economically inevitable. We are seeing agents replace humans, not because they're perfect, but because the cost of intelligence is dropping to near zero, all right? So in the past, humans were like nodes. There were nodes in the network. But now we have platforms like Notebook, which we just talked about, essentially Reddit for AI agents. What actually happens is these chatbots begin being able to collaborate with each other. This totally changes the whole game of enterprise, right? Because you will significantly reduce the amount of humans that will be required in an enterprise space. And I think it was Claude that was saying that right now, AI writes most of its code. So what happens to the future of AI agents? Okay, this is an article that I found quite interesting by IBM. And what it demoed is like the agents were autonomously completing tasks throughout Reddit, throughout TikTok, throughout X. And even though I understand how a lot of people have this hesitation towards it because of the security flaw, it's already been released to the public. And there is someone who's going to find a solution to it. And it's only a matter of time. Because what people have actually been able to do with this is phenomenal. And the risk that it has on enterprise systems is actually incredibly concerning. But this isn't going to be something that impacts just one industry, right? So we go through all the potential industries. So we're looking at entertainment, we're looking at anything that's digital, we're looking at sales, anything in regards to creativity. Today, we're looking at some of the AI models. This is Seed Dance 2, which is one of the newest AI models for video creation. Just look at that quality. This is going to destroy the entertainment industry totally. It's going to absolutely ruin, and the need for labor and creatives in this space is totally going to change. We're at a paradox right now. It's an interesting paradox because from a business perspective, the optimal number of employees is zeros, right? Humans are expensive, slow, they have a high liability, and companies like Amazon, Salesforce, and Microsoft are cutting tens of thousands of jobs purely to increase efficiency. Because at the end of the day, as a business, you want to increase the efficiency and quality, and you want to increase the output. Better, cheaper, faster. And AI is always going to be able to do that, taking less risks, right? So if wages make up to 60% of the aggregate demand in the economy, and we replace wages with software, consumer purchasing power increases, we're seeing efficiency from the supply side skyrocket, because with OpenClaw and Open 4.6, the demand side falls off a cliff. Like it's just totally down. Like we're moving from an economy powered by human labor to one that's powered by capital asset service models, agents. But the question is, what is the rest of 2026 going to hold, right? Like, is it going to be like, how do I get my job back? Or how do we survive an economy where labor is no longer this scarce resource? That's actually the question that I have in my mind. And as the tech evolves, our economic models, if the tech continues to evolve, which it is, like there's nothing that we can do about it right now. It's Pandora's box, open the Pandora's box. Our economic models need to change. So if we don't figure out a way to decouple income from traditional jobs, the paradox will only deepen. It's going to be interesting 2026. I think it's going to be one of those years, 2026, where the general population who are not in this space or not absorbed in this space, it hits them like a ton of bricks that we're going into Dune. No, I'm kidding. So we're not going to be going into Dune. Maybe we will be. It'll be kind of crazy. Thank you so much for watching. This is a little bit of a tangent. And we will see. Our next video, we're going to be going through some workflows, back to some workflows. I just thought that this will be an interesting video to make. And I will see you guys soon.